how when you rip a band-aid off one spot and then you put it back, it hurts, and then you put it back on and you rip it off again and it hurts less, and then you put it back on, you rip it off again, and you're kind of not even noticing it. You're not even really getting excited about it anymore. That's kind of where I'm at with what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to cover a couple things first. We're going to get to the Rick Shiels good drama that I'm just kind of over. Boy, oh boy. So there's a couple things actually that I want to talk about first. One, I want to update you on yesterday's video. I talked about how Mr. Short Game's absolute spicy tea drop following Guy Sharnick's tweet about Live Golf being trash, and then him posting his video about whether Guy was going to be fired or not. I reached out to them. I actually talked to Guy yesterday over DMs and just asked him about his take. He said they were going to put it in the podcast. They sort of did. They addressed basically everything to do with the tweet and why he made the tweet and his defense for the tweet and whatever. Solid, sound, logic, reasoning. People are allowed to have opinions. People are definitely allowed to try to make spicy content online, and that's very much what Guy was trying to do. No problem at all. They didn't address the Mr. Short Game video. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that Guy is not being fired. But once again, spicy piece of content for the internet that created a lot of buzz and excitement and wasn't completely off base given the valid points. So that was kind of addressed and squashed. It's not really that, there's not that much behind it. I think we're just moving on from that, and that's fine. Other thing, Grant Horvath on Foreplay. So yesterday we saw posts from Riggs Barstool, from Frankie, from Trent, from the actual Foreplay account, and then from Grant about them down in Florida together doing a 3v1 match. So Frankie, Trent, and Riggs are playing, I'm assuming, a 3-man scramble against, or maybe a 3-man best ball. That'd probably be more fair, but who knows? 3-man scramble potentially against Grant. So 3 versus 1 down in Florida, 18 holes, likely going on Foreplay's channel by the sounds of it. That's super cool. They also followed up today with a podcast, posting a podcast. I have not gone in and watched the podcast yet because this morning I watched the Rick one to kind of get ready for this video, but I'm certainly going to be going to watch it because this is something I'm personally very interested in. Foreplay is my favorite golf podcast, and then having the insertion of now a YouTube golfer. I mean, this is something that I've kind of been mind blown for a long time. Like Foreplay, I've said this before, like they make YouTube golf videos, but they're not YouTube golfers in my opinion. Like they have their podcast, they're part of the Barstool world, but they're not sitting there weekly sweating over like what's the best possible videos we can make. They upload like random 1-minute videos of like Riggs Daily 9, which are just like not good for YouTube and are going to hurt your algorithm. And then they upload the podcast and podcast clips and YouTube videos to the same channel, which is also bad for YouTube. Like they're not YouTube optimizers. They use YouTube as a distribution medium for their content, which is totally fine. I'm not crapping on that, but it has ostracized them a little bit from the YouTube golf space. They're not as much a name that we mention when we talk about YouTube golfers. However, I love the YouTube golf content they do create when they create it. And I've been saying forever that there should be a crossover between them and mainstream, whether it be them and good or whatever. So finally, we have it, and that's super exciting. Grant Horvath, the biggest name in YouTube golf right now. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This guy is on fire. Like this dude is absolutely on fire right now. He's crushing it. He's on top of everyone's tongue. He's getting all the collaborations. Like literally, it's just the man of the hour. So it's really cool to see him hop on there. The video will be neat. I'm very excited to go watch the podcast. A couple clips they put out just talking about like Grant leaving good. That's kind of the same Band-Aid analogy as earlier. Like that to me is kind of over. Like we know Grant is just good with everyone and it's fine and it's not super dramatic. So that's fine. We're kind of moving past it. And then one of the things that he did say that was kind of a hot take was he said, and he's getting a lot of trash from it in the Foreplay comments, because Foreplay is a brand that basically represents mainly pro golf and has a lot of probably like old head golfers that follow them. I mean, slightly new school because they're in the Barstool world, but like still they're like proper golfers, probably not in the YouTube golf space. And they see this YouTube golfer come on, and Grant literally said that he thinks YouTube golf will be as big or bigger than the PGA Tour in the future. Now, if we're going to sit here and talk about that topic, I'm going to say I fall somewhere in the middle. I don't necessarily know if YouTube golf will be as big as the PGA Tour, at least anytime soon, just given the like history and all that kind of stuff. But do I think the YouTube golf might outperform them in viewership at some point? Absolutely, if it's not almost already there. Like I think a lot of golf YouTube videos, like especially if you get a big group collaboration, you probably have more viewers than like a PGA Tour event on a Sunday, like a smaller one, like the Bermuda, or well, probably not because the Bryan Bros are in it. But you get what I'm saying. Like I think the contrasts are there. What I've said before is YouTube golf will, if not already is, bigger than Live Golf. Like not even close. So I think YouTube golf is the second biggest golf tour. Like there's a reason, ladies and gentlemen, why I do this, why I'm so passionate about this community, is because, like Grant said, I believe in the future of this, and I believe that being intertwined in this community is a long play. It's an ability to let this community grow and help bolster its growth, and then hopefully have like a lot of positive outcome come out the other end. I believe in what this community can do. Will it surpass the PGA Tour? Again, I don't know. I think it kind of juxta back and forth. But when we're talking about the Masters, the Open, like these just like massive world events, like YouTube golf's definitely still got a long way to go to even get close to that. But I do think second biggest tool in the world, absolutely. And I think sniffing on the heels, that's plenty positive place to be right now. So that's an interesting one. I'm gonna watch that after this, so be sure to check it out. But let's get to the Band-Aid analogy. So yesterday on Rick Shiels, or this morning, I guess, on the Rick Shiels Golf Show, recorded yesterday, where they addressed the Mr. Short game, the guy tweet, whatever, they also, to my surprise, brought up the YouTube Masters. And one thing that's absolutely not a Band-Aid for me, that never gets old, that's never stopped being so exciting and standing up the hairs on my arms, is when Guy or Rick or any of those people just so casually throw out my name in their podcast.
But the one that kind of felt fitting as talking about Grant and that kind of wider YouTube golf landscape was a question that came up a hell of a lot, in fact. So this question is from Reese Colling. It says, what's happened with this YouTube Masters / YouTube Open? Not heard anything about it for ages, and we've seen that comment a lot, Rick. So could you give us a bit more insight and let the audience know what is happening with this YouTube Masters? I'm waiting for tonight. There'll be a Nate Edwardson video inevitably about this topic as well, so give us that content, Rick.
Straight up name drop, that's never going to get old. You guys still remember from the beginning, if you've been here, that this is just, we have a channel by the people for the people. I'm one of you guys, so it's so weird. Anyways, okay, so that's the preemptive strike. That's the, hey Nate, here you go, here's your nugget, here's your 1 of 10 video, silver dropped in a silver platter. And then they go on to talk about the YouTube Masters, which is great. They haven't talked about it in a long time. I made a video a little while ago asking for more information, and we get it, and that's great. And it was a more detailed explanation. The synopsis of it that I'll give to you guys is that, you know, Rick wanted to make this thing happen this year. He wanted to make it similar to what he did to the YouTube Golf Day, but the only difference was he wanted to live stream it. Live streaming added a ton of headache logistically to it. It's a very hard thing to do to live stream golf. And so naturally that kind of pushed timelines back. He talked about how they're trying to make it a joint event with Good, which I don't think has been publicly said yet. We've all speculated. So that's awesome, and Good's infrastructure is probably equal to in size, if not greater, than Rick's infrastructure as a company. And so I think them two coming together, it's way more power to make something like this happen, which is very positive. That's kind of where the conversation ended. It was, yeah, 2024, we're gonna have, you know, hopefully have this and whatever. US, it's probably gonna be in the US. But the reason why I gave the Band-Aid analogy at the beginning, the reason why I'm kind of over this drama, if you want to call it that, is because, I mean, it's just at this point, we just need to see it happen. Like, I'm kind of done with, like, getting excited about news about the YouTube Masters. Because it's just, I mean, I don't know. There's been up, there's been down, there's been up, there's been down, there's been up, there's been down. And, like, when that happens so much, you get whiplash. And you're just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to wait. And until we have, like, a definitive date, a definitive location, like, YouTube golfers confirming that they're going, I can't really get that excited about this anymore, you know? Because it's like, I've made the videos a million times where I'm like, duh, this new bit of information, it's so exciting. Because you got to understand, the YouTube Golf Masters happening is so exciting. It's something I want to have happen more than anything. I think it would be huge for propelling our sport, and I call it that, YouTube Golf, the sport, the league, forward to surpass LIV, to surpass DP World Tour, to start biting on the heels of the PGA Tour. Like, this is what we need to have happen. We need to have a massive live streamed event that shows people what this community really is made of, what this community really can do, and show the pull we have behind it, and the breadth and depth of content creators coming together. Like, there's so much positive, and there is a reason why this needs to happen. There's a reason why I've been getting so excited about it. But at this point, these reoccurring kind of just like, it's happening at some point, maybe pushed. I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm just gonna wait until it's confirmed. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. You guys can comment your thoughts down below. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of done with it. Feels like the Band-Aid is kind of ripped off enough times that I'm just kind of, all right, let's see it. Let's just wait and let's just see it happen. So that's the news, guys. A couple different things in today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button as always. I'll see you in the next one.